Go ahead and open up that exercise file, and you will find an image that begins with 477. Go ahead and open it up. Now, I like the image. It's dramatic, but I want the foreground lighter, and I wouldn't mind the sky in some places being a little bit darker. Now, can you imagine using a paintbrush with the dodge and burn tools and painting across branches and leaves and sky and trying to do it and make it work? I'm not saying you couldn't. I'm just saying I don't want to do it that way. So we're going to look at a dodging and burning technique that doesn't use the dodge and burn tools. Let's start by going into our channels. Now, what I need here is I need a channel that I can make a selection out of that would have a lot of contrast between the sky and everything else. So I call it 3 strikes and you're out, because you have red, maybe, green. I think blue is the best one, but I want it even darker than that. Now, don't change the blue channel. Make a copy of it, drag it down the new icon. That's the easiest way to do it. Now let's go into Image, down to Adjustments, and go into Curves. This is one of the few times that I will use curves from the pull-down menu, because you can't apply an adjustment curves layer to a channel. I want to darken it up. I'm going to put a point right there. Pop a point right there. I'm going to get right about here. I can go this way, or I can go this way, and I want to darken it up. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit more. Like that. Now I'm happy. Go ahead and click OK. Just like that. Now we need to make that a selection. If you come down and touch it and hold down the Control key, and that's the Command key on a Mac controller Windows, and click Instant Selection. Go back into RGB and go back to Layers. Now I know that looks kind of weird, kind of wonky, but remember, we are trying to translate visually a selection of shades of gray using crawling at marquees. It's always going to look wonky, but it will work. Now what I want you to do now is reach over on your keyboard and press Control, Command on a Mac controller Windows, J as in John. Now let me turn this one off and show you what we got. We basically got, based on the selection, the light area is the sky. That's exactly what I wanted. Now let's come back here and turn background back on, or select it. Go back into Channels and reselect this with a Control or Command click. Go back to Layers. But this time, I want everything else. So go up to the word Select and go into Inverse. Background selected, Control J. Command J on a Mac, Control on Windows. I'm going to move that one up on top like that. But if we turn these off, now I've got everything else. So let's turn everything back on. For the sky, this one right here, I want that to be darker, yes? So we're going to multiply on our blending mode. But I still want the foreground to be lighter. So we're going to go to this one that contains that information, and we're going to use the opposite command, Screen. Now, if that's too much, don't forget you have opacity settings. We can change or do just about anything that we want. So here's our background, the original. And by using 2 layers, a very selective process of using a channel, beefing up the dark and light in it, inversing it to make the 2 copies, and then multiplying to darken and screen to lighten, we have overall a much better image. And we're still in control.